Well, hmm, that was something. That was certainly something. Bucks almost had it. You know, it was close. That was, that was close. Hmm. Not sure what happened there. That was kind of weird. Don't know why you'd scramble and then do a lateral. I guess, I don't know. Jackson shaking my head. Ugh. No, Deshaun. Yeah, he missed it. Not only did he miss it, but Adam Humphries missed it. And then why would you call a scramble? The only reason I could think of why you would call a scramble is because throwing it deep, that's not going to work, you know, because they're going to have everybody back there and whatnot. So, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, Deshaun should have been paying attention on that, guys. So, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this game. What the heck happened? Well, the Bucks lost 29-30. Was it 29-31? No, it couldn't have been 29-31. What was the final score? Because if they needed a field goal, then they should have just... it wasn't 29-30. It was 29-34. That's what the final score was. It was 29-34. Well, Ethan, oh my gosh. Why me? What'd I do? We're just going to hang out, talk about some stuff. Ethan, you're going to have to be my main moderator since you're the only one in here. So let anything fly. I want everybody to get all their hate out in this this platform here. So Ethan, you got to be on your game, okay? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this game, guys. There was a lot of stuff that happened. Some of it was okay, and some of it was just awful. We lost another close one, another shootout. Like I said in the preview, I didn't want it to get into a shootout because, you know, we might not have been able to win a shootout with the Falcons, and we weren't able to win. So it was 29-34. That last play was just messy. I don't know why it called such a weird... I don't know why they called such a weird thing. To spam my keyboard, oh my god. I thought we were coming back too, man. Thought we were coming back too. Catanzaro lost this game. I wouldn't say that because the score was 30. Well, I wouldn't say that. I would still put it more on the first half defense. Taking a look at things, I want to start with the first half. That defense was just awful. It was the Bucks defense that we've all come to know at this point. You know, it was what it was. The Falcons were able to score 24 points in the first half. That sucked. That was awful. You can't win a lot of games whenever your defense is giving up 34 points in the first half. That's not good. We missed on some red zone opportunities as well in the first half. Jameis Winston, he threw 2 interceptions. I believe he finished the day with 4 touchdowns. I believe it was 4 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, right? 30 of 41, 395 passing yards. Jameis Winston had a good game, all things considered. He had 1 interception, which was a missed deep ball to Deshaun. That one's understandable. That was a bad throw on Jameis' part. The pop-up one, that's just typical Bucks luck, you know? That's just typical Bucks luck. It is what it is. You know, there was a lot of good stuff in the first half. Peyton Barber looked really good running the ball. I thought that was good. Adam Humphries got some things going. Deshaun Jackson. O.J. Howard coming back from an MCL sprain, I believe what it is, or a PCL sprain or whatever it may be. He came back and was looking very good. I understand how you guys are very salty right now. It's completely understandable. Yeah, it's completely understandable. But, yeah, it was a very interesting game. We didn't see a whole lot of Ronald Jones in this game, but man, I think the offense played their hearts out. They played their hearts out. I understand how a lot of people can be upset. Like what Ethan's saying, so many little things, if they would have went different, we would have won. He had 2 interceptions and 4 touchdowns. Yeah, the 1 interception, like I was saying, with the pass to Godwin that got popped up and it got intercepted, that was annoying. That was really annoying. Canadian Football League for you? No, don't go to the Canadian Football League. They're not interesting. They're not interesting. Yeah, man. 55 people watching. Thank you guys all for watching. Buck the World Forever. Hello, my friend. Thank you. Thank you for being the other moderator in here. We need more. Star Wars Fanatic. That's actually a pretty cool channel name. Still Fire Mike Smith. Promote the Duffinator. Promote the Duffinator, okay? This is something I want to talk about, okay? The Buccaneers let up 24 points in the first half and then only 10 in the second half. Fair credit, okay? I still think that shouldn't save Mike Smith from scrutiny. The Buccaneers defense wasn't clutch towards the end, and even in the second half, you could still see communication problems in that defense. Fair credit to them; they played very, very good in the third quarter, letting up 0 points. That's very good. You know, that's awesome. But when we needed them to be the most clutch, they had communication problems. On the one bootleg touchdown pass to Tevin Coleman, Quan Alexander and Levante David didn't look like they know what they were doing on that play at all. That was a problem, and you could see that in the first half as well. Things got a little bit better in the second half, but on certain plays and in certain situations when you needed them to be clutch, they weren't clutch. And that wasn't good. There's a lot of small things that you can dictate. That you can blame. You know, you can blame Jameis Winston's 2 interceptions. You can blame Deshaun Jackson the last play of the game. You can blame Chandler Catanzaro. You can blame the pop-ups. You can blame the lack of defensive communication in the first half. There's so much stuff you can blame and whatnot. It was just a combination of all those things. The Bucs just had a lot of bad breaks, and I would even say some of it was unlucky. I would say a handful of it was just poor execution and poor communication on both sides of the ball to a certain degree when it mattered most. You know, the Buccaneers needed a touchdown. They were in the red zone. Jameis Winston threw a pop-up interception. That's not good. The Bucs needed to stop the Falcons in the red zone. Matt Ryan throws a bootleg touchdown to Tevin Coleman. Well, gee, that's not good either. There was a couple of drops from Mike Evans. There was a couple of bad penalties from Gerald McCoy in this game, such as an offside and a hands to the face penalty. McCoy would leave the game with a calf injury, I believe. So I don't really know how. I don't really know how that's going to be. He was labeled out for the rest of the game. Julio Jones was wide open the entire time. That was one thing that really sucked. Regardless of what the Buccaneers did in the second half, Julio Jones was open pretty much the entire game. He finished with 10 catches, 143 yards. We all knew that Julio was going to come out here and, you know, have a wonderful game. And he did exactly that because apparently Mike Smith just doesn't know how to cover Julio Jones, which is weird because Julio Jones, I believe, was... I'm going to look up his stats real quick, but teams have stopped Julio Jones this year, which is annoying. So why couldn't the Bucs do it? Well, you know, the Steelers stopped him 5 catches, 62 yards. The Panthers stopped him 5 catches, 64 yards. That's manageable. You know, that's manageable. You can stop that. Ryan Smith, he had a bad game. You know, it was bad. I think a lot of it comes down to communication. A lot of it comes down to discipline. When this team was actually knowing what they were doing on the defensive side of the ball, they were actually able to get some stops there. I think they had 3 stops in a row. That was great. But then eventually the communication just broke down yet again, and things just didn't go well. It wasn't good. It was very disappointing. Playoffs are still in sight. I do agree with that, I suppose. At 2-3, it's not bad. But this defense needs to figure out what the heck they're doing. You can't have these types of communication problems. Otherwise, you're never going to win a game. And you're going to keep on giving up 34 points to teams. That just keeps on ticking up Mike Smith's score, you know? It's just not good. It's just not good. And it's like, yes, you can blame a couple of them on the offense giving the ball to the Falcons, but geez, this Bucs defense just could not stop the Falcons, minus the third quarter and a little bit into the fourth quarter. But that first half was just atrocious. I thought it was going to be another blowout. It wasn't a good look. I know what the coaches are going to say in the press conference about showing heart. I couldn't give a crap. Showed heart and rallied in the second half. We need to execute. Yeah, I'm kind of tired of that. You know, where we're almost winning these shootouts, and then the coaches come out and they say in the press conference, well, you know, we almost had it in the second half. We just have to execute better. Well, why don't you try executing better? I think Mike Smith would do really well with getting down there onto the sideline for the remainder of the season. So we actually go out there and explain, write down on a whiteboard or something like that, or on a tablet, and explain what's going on with this defense rather than just being up in the booth. I would rather have Mike Smith be down there on the sideline and drawing and showing what needs to happen on the defense, because that would be huge. That would be huge. I'm not a big fan of his, but this was a decent game. For Mike Smith, I thought it was an okay... I mean, like, the second half was good, but the first half was just typical Mike Smith stuff. Just typical Mike Smith stuff. Should I take one for the team and kidnap Mike Smith? I guess you could, Ethan. I mean, I'll try and bail you out. I can get a GoFundMe started to bail you out. Yeah, he's in the booth. That's the big thing for me. That's one of the biggest knocks I have on Mike Smith is he isn't down there on the sideline with the guys and showing them. That's where you get communication problems because Mike Smith isn't with the team. I don't know if Todd Monken is down there on the sideline as well. I think he might actually be up in the booth. But the point is that maybe Mike Smith would just benefit more from rather being in the booth. Maybe put him down on the sideline so he can actually show the guys. If communication's this much of a problem to where your linebackers are getting confused, like right before the play starts, if your guys are getting confused, then maybe you should actually go down there and talk to them face to face and try and show them what to do. If Todd Monken is up in the booth and he's having a good time of actually being able to communicate with his offense, that's fine. That works for him. But maybe that's just not how Mike Smith can show these guys from up in a booth. Maybe he needs to be down there on the sidelines. I blame Jackson. That's completely understandable. He wasn't paying attention towards that last play. It was a weird call, though. That was a weird offensive call. I was kind of expecting a long pass, but I thought, well, maybe that wouldn't work. So I guess that's kind of understandable why you would run up the middle with Jameis and then kind of just do that pitch play, but Deshaun was right there. I don't know if he would have made it because the defenders were closing in pretty quickly, but he might have been close. I mean, Deshaun would have had to go from 0 to 60 really quickly, and I think he can do that. I just think he might have been on the 1 yard line. I don't know. But yeah, he definitely needs to pay attention. He definitely needs to pay attention. For sure. For sure. Yeah, I don't know. Vita Vea looked good at times. I thought that was pretty good. How about that? You know, the defensive line in the second half got a lot more pressure. I thought that was a good thing to see. Jason Pierre-Paul's probably going to get 10 sacks this year. That's good. That's a very encouraging thing to see. Everybody's just trashing Mike Smith. Understandable. Mike Smith deserves to be trashed, you know. 34 points. He let up 34 points again. You know, so it's rough, man. It's rough. We almost have 100 people watching. That's awesome. 85 people. Thank you, guys. Let me actually change the lose to Falcons 34-29. There we go. Yeah, it's facts, man. Fire Mike Smith. That was something I was kind of worried about watching this game is I thought, you know, if the Buccaneers, after the first half, everybody was still saying Mike Smith. And I thought, okay, with the second half, the Bucs are looking really good. That shouldn't excuse Mike Smith from still having a really bad first half. And I could easily see, you know, coming up, Dirk Cutter, I mean, he might do this. He probably will do this, is saying, well, you know, hey, Mike Smith played really good defense in the second half. And it's like, well, dude, that's no excuse. You still give up 24 points in the first half. You know, if you would have stopped it, and hey, if they wouldn't have freaking drove down the field with however many seconds left, 30 seconds left at the end of the first half and made that field goal, the Bucs could have won. They could have kicked the field goal. I know Canzaro missed that one extra point, but he was hitting all of his field goals and the rest of his kicks. If the Bucs defense would have held with like 30 seconds left at the end of the first half, they could have won this game. They could have won this game. If I remove Mike's... Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Ethan. This one hurt me more than it should have. I know, Corey. I know. It's... Oh, it's a bad one. It's a bad one. There's just so much... There's so many small disappointing things that when you add it all up, it just is something that is just extremely disappointing. And it's a terrible thing to see. Ethan, thank you for the super chat as well, and Rocco, thank you as well. You guys have been awesome. Seriously, guys, just get all the hate out. Seriously, get all the hate out today in this live stream. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to talk with you guys. If you guys have any questions, I'm gonna try my best to read along with the chat. Barber was good today. I thought Barber was very good. He had a couple of really nice runs. So hopefully that continues with the momentum that the offense has been carrying. We're gonna win maybe 5 games. We're a bad team. I mean, there were points where this team just did not look good in any way. So that was kind of disappointing. Yeah, it's true. He had 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. I love Winston, man. I think Winston had a very good game. 4 touchdowns. That was great. Who do I blame? I blame Mike Smith's first half defense. That was awful. That's what I mainly blame. There was some little stuff here and there, like Deshaun Jackson missing that final play of the game, a couple of drops from Mike Evans, a couple of penalties from Gerald McCoy, a couple of missed throws by Jameis Winston, some bad coverages, some bad communication by Quan and Levante David and the defenders. Andrew Adams had a couple of bad plays. We were leaving Julio Jones wide open the entire time. Chandler Catanzaro missed an extra point. There's so much you can really nitpick. This is one of those games where it's like you can really nitpick, you know? You can really nitpick. Oh man, Ethan with the memes. How about Chris Godwin though? I thought he had a decent game. Did he? Yeah, he had a decent game. He had 6 catches, 56 yards, 1 touchdown. He's kind of keeping up that that kind of like number 2, like number 3-ish type wide receiver role. He's putting up some solid numbers. He kind of has Adam Humphries this role this year where it's like he doesn't put up like 100 yards a game, but he can get you a solid 50 to 60 yards a game. 92 people watching. Could we hit 100 actually? I think that'd be the most I've ever had in a live stream. I'm going to be taking all questions here. Quan overrated? I will say Quan's been having a really, really, really rough year. In terms of overall communication and hitting the gaps and whatnot. Seems to have been making a lot of more mental errors. 93 in the stream. Yeah, there's 93 people in this stream. We're all disappointed. Vinny Curry? Sucks? No, I don't know. I thought the defensive line looked good in the second half. Just not in the first half. If our defense would have been good in the first half, we would have been fine. We would have been fine, and we wouldn't have had to go into a shootout like what I was scared of. And we lost to the shootout like what I was scared of. Because of just minor errors. You know, that's what happens in shootouts. It starts getting too much, and you just can't rely on the defense, so you start nitpicking little mistakes that the offense makes, and little mistakes that the special teams makes, and that's how shootouts work, man. It just comes down to little stuff that you lose. Playoffs? I think it's still possible. Yeah, I think it's still possible, but I don't know about Mike Smith, man. I still think he should be fired. That's just not good. You can have a good half of football, you know, good second half, but that first half is what lost you the game. It's what lost you the game. Literally, that last play in the second, you know, that last drive in the first half with the Falcons, and they were able to kick a field goal. It was awful. It was awful. Get Mike Smith out. I agree completely. I agree completely. I'm gonna actually I want to post something for you guys. I'm gonna add a little. I'm just gonna add a little poll. Should the Bucks fire Mike Smith? Yes. No. Firing him isn't enough. Fire everyone. Oh, wait. Fire everyone. Okay. There we go, guys. I have a poll up in the top right, the eye icon. If you guys definitely want to go check that out. What about JPP? Ooh, JPP looked good in this game, all things considered. I thought he had some pretty nice stuff. I thought he had some pretty nice plays going. He had another sack. He's 5 sacks on the year. He's gonna get to double-digit sacks for sure. McCoy had a couple of mental errors. You know, it was rough. It was rough. I hate zone coverage. We can't communicate, and if you can't communicate, you can't do zone. Mike Smith, get your ass, get aggressive, do some blitzes and man coverage. You know what sucked is in the first half, even whenever they were blitzing, as little as they did it, I believe even when they were blitzing, it wasn't working, because I don't know, it just wasn't working. Nothing Mike Smith does works ever, you know. Nothing Mike Smith does works. Yeah, go. I'm putting a poll up in the top right of this live stream, so go click on it. There should be like a little eye icon that says from MrBucsNation. 7-9 this year. Fire everybody. Honestly, we went 7-9. I don't know if the Glaciers. I think they'd fire Mike Smith, but I don't think they'd fire Dirk Cutter. I want to die right now, David. Don't say that. Don't say that. Also, mods. I know it's gonna like. I think it's gonna yeah, it's gonna. A lot of the messages that have curse words in them and whatnot, I think they're gonna like show them for review. Just keep on it. We're gonna all vent our rage out in this live stream for the next 10-15 minutes here. You know. Dumb question, is TJ Ward still there? TJ Ward's still available, actually. Fun fact, but I don't think he's gonna come back to the Bucks. I don't think he's gonna come back to the Bucks. How about we cover the receivers? How about we tackle? Yeah, tackling boneheaded penalties, lack of communication. I remember somebody on Twitter, I think it was Roy Cummings, said, well, get rid of it as much as, blame Mike Smith as much as you want, but poor tackling and whatnot. Well, that's Mike Smith. Mike Smith's supposed to help teach these guys. When Todd Monken was named the offensive coordinator, the positional coaches were happy because Todd Monken was able to go position by position and help out, and give his little piece and say, hey, work on this, hey, work on that. We should be seeing the same thing from Mike Smith. We should be hearing the same thing from Mike Smith. Mike Smith should be going and talking about the little things. Hey, it starts with tackling, and it starts with communication. Isn't that funny? That's the biggest thing that the Bucs have problems with right now is tackling and its lack of communication. These are such basic things, and the Bucs can't get it, And it's just annoying. It's just annoying. 102 people. What is going on, guys? Oh my gosh, this is the best live stream we've ever had. This is the best live stream we've ever had. Thank you guys so much for joining me as we all vent our frustrations over this game. We need a new defensive scheme. We do, Joanne. We definitely do. That's a cool name, by the way, Joanne Slaughter. But secondary is exposed. Secondary is exposed. Again, like I said, poor tackling. Julio Jones was wide open the entire game, pretty much. Calvin Ridley didn't have as big a game as I thought he was going to, nor did Mohamed Sanu, but they both got banged up, so I'm sure if they were still in, they would have been getting the ball a lot as well. Oh, another moderator just handled that. We should start an online petition to get Mike Smith out. What's disappointing is a lot of the media has been saying, the Glaziers probably won't get rid of Mike Smith midseason, and I really hope they do, because they need to. They need to. They really do. Alex LMAO. Wait, what did Alex say? Oh, who said Rocco Conchatican? Oh my gosh. Let's trade for Patrick Peterson. That's something I want to talk to you guys about as well. I think the Buccaneers need to make a big personnel move in the secondary. Be it trading for a cornerback or trading for a safety. Who's somebody that you guys would want to trade for? One of the names that I thought would be interesting is Cardinals linebacker / safety Deon Buchanan. I think that's somebody you could definitely get you could trade for. Also, Patrick Peterson, Cardinals cornerback as well. The Cardinals are looking to trade a lot of their players, so I think that maybe the Bucs go and take somebody like a Deon Buchanan, like a Patrick Peterson. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? If you guys could trade for a player right now, who would you want them to trade for? Seriously, because we need something in the secondary, because obviously the communication isn't there from the linebackers to the secondary to even I guess the defensive line, you don't need it as much, but they even make some dumb boneheaded penalties, so it's just not good. Horrible coaching, locker room is torn, and it's time for change. That's one thing I'm actually scared of, is if we keep on having these bad performances and this lack of communication, this defense is going to lose confidence in Mike Smith's defense. I think they already have started to. I started having this thought last game of the defenders like Quan Alexander, like Levante David, like Brent Grimes especially. He would definitely be a guy who would just be like, dude, screw this. I'm too old for this. Losing confidence and just flat out not listening to Mike Smith. And if that happens, then this season, to me, is a wash. That's 100%. If your team starts to not believe in the coaching and the scheme anymore, then you might as well just pack it up or just fire the coach, because that's a done deal. If you're not going to listen to the coach just because he isn't teaching you guys what to do, then you just gotta, then it's over, man. But I feel like I feel like the defenders are starting to get to that point, because I just see time and time again where they're pointing and they're looking around like they're lost. They're like this. They're like, oh, here's that guy. And you see either Quan or Levante go, what? He's right there. And then the running back goes and scores a touchdown. So it's just disappointing. Brent Grimes could be traded for Richard Sherman. No, who knows? Let's go start a GoFundMe to get Mike Smith billboard in Tampa. Could we? I think we'd get in trouble. I think we would get in trouble if we did that. Why run the last play call? Why not give Evan Godwins a chance? Dylan, that's a good point. I thought about that as well, but I don't think it would have worked because they put their hands unit in. Julio Jones was back there playing safety, so I think in Todd Monken's mind he thought, well, that's not going to work. We might as well just surprise them with the Jameis Winston run, get like 8 yards to start, and then do the passing back drill. You know? Did you see Dockery's video? David Rivers was straight trashing Mike Smith. I did get it sent on Twitter by Bucks, by F Flexi. That was pretty interesting. I kind of want to get David Rivers on here and talk with him about that, because I think that'd be kind of interesting. I think that'd actually be very interesting if I could get David Rivers on here. Does he have a Twitter? Does David Rivers have a Twitter? I'm curious. He does, I think. Yes, he does. Do you guys want to talk to David Rivers about this and ask him what's going on with the Bucs defense? I think that'd be pretty fun. What's up, Movement 08? Rough game. Rough game. What's up, homie? How are you? James, we need a Mac with a real attack. I know. I know. I know. This game was, I don't think this game was on Winston. I don't think so. We really need Vernon Hargreaves? Yeah, how about that? Dilly Billy, that's a great name. Didn't think we'd miss Vernon Hargreaves this much, but it's looking like we miss him a lot. David Rivers won't do that because it can cost him a spot on the team. I mean, he talked in Dockery's video about it. Why wouldn't he talk in a 15-minute video about it? It's not bad. I just talked to him. You know, just talk to him. He asked me to delete my post about it because... Oh, okay. Never mind. Never mind. We'll keep it. We'll keep it. We'll not talk about it. But I'd like to get David Rivers in here. We don't have to talk specifically about Mike Smith, but we can get him in here. I can try. You know, hey, you never know. You never know. Bench Brent Grimes, second half, last game. Dirk was talking about firing people, weird stuff. Yeah, Dirk Cutter's been giving some weird press conferences, guys, and it's not. I don't think it's going to get better after this one. I think he's going to defend. Why you blame me? What did I do? Just throwing the blame everywhere. It's that guy's fault. You know what? It's that guy's fault. So what do we do now, James? Aside from what the majority wants, lol. What do we do now? Well, I mean, I honestly would still say fire Mike Smith. It's just clear that this defense doesn't know what he's talking about. And he's up in the booth. He's not down on the sideline. I think you'd benefit a lot more from being down on the sideline so we could draw it out and show them rather than getting on a little headphone and saying, hey, you know, Brenson Buckner, tell the defense to do this. Or, hey, John Maxey, tell the defensive backs to do this. And, hey, Mark Duffner, show the linebackers to do this. I think that's a start. I definitely think that's a start. And I know it's like, well, you know, replacing him wouldn't solve anything. It'd still be the same scheme. But maybe Mark Duffner could explain it better. You know, maybe it's just Mike Smith isn't explaining it well enough. Another thing that I think would definitely be happening is that would help is just getting back to fundamentals. Start disciplining this defense. Because I think that's the biggest problem. You don't see a whole lot of a mistake. Well, you see some mistakes, but you can little nitpick and whatnot. If we don't make the playoffs this year, it's on me. All right, okay, I'll take that. James is coach. Dilly. I'll dilly to that one. I blame the play reaction, says Paul. I think another thing that the Bucs could benefit for on the defensive side of the ball is getting back to benefits. Or not benefits, getting back to basics. Tackling, penalties, communication, discipline. Those are 4 things that the Buccaneers have been struggling with the entire season so far. These past 5 games, the Bucs have had poor tackling. They've had lack of penalties. They're one of the highest, you know, teams in terms of penalties and whatnot on the defensive side of the ball. They have poor communication, as we saw in this game specifically with Levante David and Quan Alexander and the defensive backs and others. Ryan Smith looks lost. Quan looks lost at times. Levante can even look lost at times. And bad penalties. Gerald McCoy gets bad penalties as well. We need to get it back to the fundamentals, and we need to make sure that these guys are getting the basics down. Because that's where it all starts. If you make your tackles, and you stop getting penalties that are killing drives, you're going to have a lot better of a time. Just flat out. Just flat out, you know? I don't think that was a first down either, by the way, to Hooper. Is that his name? Austin Hooper? I don't think that was a first down at all. What do the players want to do? Didn't they tell the coaching staff they went over the bye week? Yeah, that's the thing, man. That's the thing. I thought that this bye week, I thought that this bye week was going to be huge because thought there was going to be a better sense of communication, but that obviously wasn't happening. I blame the ping pong table in the locker room. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of things you can you can blame and whatnot. Jalen Ramsey for Grimes. Done deal. Let's do it. There's a lot of stuff, man. There's a lot of stuff. Guys, just go ahead and get your final thoughts out, and then I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream so I can work on an official review and whatnot. But I like doing these right after the game so we can all voice either our praises or our frustrations and whatnot. So let's go and get our final thoughts out for us today. Trade for a quarterback, or trade for a running back? I don't think so. I think Peyton Barber looked good in this game. Here's my final thoughts, okay? For as good as the Bucs defense was in the second half, only giving up 10 points, shutting the Falcons offense out in the third half, this first half was rough. The first half was rough. 24 points, even that field goal at the end of the first half. You could have won the game, possibly, if you would have prevented that field goal from happening. This defense just came in too late, you know, like they've been doing. Like they did versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, you know. It's just the same exact thing. We lost a shootout because the Bucs gave up too many points in the first half, and that wasn't good. The tackling was poor. The communication was poor, as we saw with Ryan Smith and the linebackers, and the rest of the cornerbacks to a certain degree as well. Julio Jones was wide open the entire game, and you can't have that. And we had some boneheaded penalties from Gerald McCoy, among a couple others, and that's on coaching. That's on coaching. You need to discipline your team. You need to make sure that, Hey, I tried to put a Bucs towel on it, by the way. Never mind the Patriots lamp in the background. Oh, everybody's just going to diss me. Hold on, okay? Hold on. The Patriots lamp is... What Patriots lamp? I just see a Bucs towel, okay? You all leave me alone. Skolston? Oh, well, regardless. You know, penalties, lack of discipline... You know, tackling, communication, that's all on the coaching staff. I don't think Mike Smith's obviously going to be fired after this game because I think that Dirk Cutter's going to go, well, he had a good second half, and that'll be the excuse this week. I think that's what it's going to be. They need to do something. Something needs to happen on the defensive side of the ball, be it some different change in a personnel move, trading for somebody, or be it Mike Smith getting out of the booth and getting down to the sideline and actually teaching or actually showing the defense eye-to-eye, face-to-face what the heck is going on and getting his communication straight. Or just flat out getting rid of Mike Smith. By the way, the Patriots lamp, that was a gift from my family a couple years ago for Christmas. You know, it is what it is. They didn't know what to get me, so they got me random stuff, okay? Okay, it was an extended family member. Don't you start. But the Bucs need to do something on defense. Something. Anything. I don't want to go through another week where nothing happens. And we're just sitting here thinking, okay, here we go. You know, that's what a lot of people were thinking about this week. Where a lot of people were saying, oh, God, the defense didn't do anything. The only encouraging thing we got was that the players actually voiced their opinions. And look what happened then. Not much. So something needs to happen. Personnel move-wise, front office-wise, or just maybe even something as simple as Mike Smith going from the booth down to the sideline. I want to see something change. Because it needs to. If the Buccaneers still want to have a chance of making the playoffs, something needs to change. So, yeah. That's it. That's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Vid for lamp burn. Okay, we'll consider it. We'll consider it. That share is from Philly? What do you mean that share's from Philly? Oh my gosh, everybody's going to start attacking. Shout out to O.J. Howard for playing. Yes, shout out to O.J. Howard for playing. That was good. That was good. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you're watching this in post, go ahead and leave your thoughts about the game down in the comments section below. Thank you to the over 100 people who have been watching. That's actually awesome. I'm very happy for that. So yeah, I'm going to be making an official game review tonight. So if you guys want to watch that, my shirt's from Buffalo. Everything's from everywhere, I guess. So if you guys want to go watch the official game review, that'll be up later tonight. I actually just started a gaming channel, so if you guys want to go check that out, I will actually post it right now. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. I'll take a couple more questions while I'm looking for it. Hold on. I don't know where it is. Hold on, let me go to my latest video, and then I can find it. Everybody stay with me, okay? Oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to find it, am I? NJ's in the building. His bed sheets are from Oakland. Okay, everybody's just gonna diss me on where all my stuff is from. That's great. Oakland got smoked today. That's the one positive, is that we have a That's the one positive, is that we do have a better record than the Raiders. So, you know, at least that's good. But yeah, here you go, guys. Just made a gaming channel, so if you guys want to go check that out, it's right there. Go subscribe. I'm actually doing a Madden series right now, so if you want to go check that out. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you're watching this in post, post your comments down below. Thank you to everybody that donated with the super chats and whatnot. That means a lot. Go check out everything in the description, from donations to deals with sponsors and whatnot. And yeah, greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Ethan, you stop it. It was a rough game, but hey, whatever. You know, we just keep on chugging on, and we can always talk about it soon. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. But until then, and as always, goodbye for now, and go Bucks!